Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning and good health. Happy Easter to everyone who is listening today. How are you guys doing? Did you think I was coming on today? Listen, I rarely take holidays off. If I take off, it's an emergency. Let me just do a mic check, make sure you all can hear me well. Let's see. Make sure you all can hear me well. Mic check, mic check. Make sure you all can hear me well. Mic check, mic check. Okay, that's the best I can do. I think you all can hear me today. I just want to say good health to Creative Soul. How are you? And Angela, how are you? How's yours Easter's or anybody else that is listening but not coming through, which is fine. It's your preference. How are you all doing? Can hear you just fine. Thank you, Angela. How are you all doing? How are you all doing? Well, I think this is a good way to bring in Easter for spiritual people, right? Spirituality is Jesus, so let's not confuse the two, right? They belong together. We belong together. I don't know the tone of that song, but you know what I mean. They go together. Spirituality is God. God is Jesus. Jesus is what? You. I feel like, who's that guy? Something in the neighborhood on spirituality. The guy with the sweater. Okay. So started a little late today because I decided Easter was the best day to wash clothes. And it interfered with the second laundry. So if I started the show, if I started the show at 9 o'clock, which I was prepared to, the second laundry wouldn't have been done until 9:30. And that means I would have to break up the show, go take 10 minutes while I played some music, I was like, you're so stupid. Just let me post it for 9:30. And then I gave myself 15 more minutes just to play around. All right, we are on chapter 3. Doing great, laying in bed, listening to you. That is called self-care. Good. I love that. I love self-care and I love luxurious Sunday morning. Do you remember, Angela? You're in my age bracket. We used to not rush out of bed on Sundays if you could help it, if you didn't work on Sundays. I've learned to work on the weekends. Once I had a child, I've learned to work on the weekends because I didn't have my child on the weekends. So for me, working on the weekends was better. And then I took the 2 days off back to back. I was working at the hospital at the time. I took the 2 days off back to back. And regardless, my son had to go to daycare. I took him to daycare and had a luxurious, 7.5 hours to myself. I thought I was really smart. In any case, on to the book. But I was bringing up the fact that I used to read the New York Times on Sundays. At the time, I had been married, so we kind of like to do that together. I guess we were trying to appear educated by reading the New York Times. I don't know anymore. I liked the activity, right? I don't need to climb mountains. I could sit in my bed on a Sunday with a cup of coffee and the newspaper, and that was heaven to me. So enjoy laying in bed and listening to me, Angela. Okay, let's get this party started. We are on page 57, and we're at chapter 3, and it is ecstatics, and seekers. Aesthetics, ecstatics, and seekers. Let's begin. On a plain, everywhere, see anemones, like animals, inverted into hollows in the earth, filling and coloring the pits with their bodies of purple and black parachute silk. In that wide expanse, she walked, meeting only one person, a plumpish woman with gray brown skin who looked East Indian. Since there were no walls, the walker's stomach uneasiness emanated greatly, and the woman answered to it. Answered to it. Look to Paris for this residue carried from your past life there. The walker's mind fixed upon that thought and, discomforted, vanished. She was then stirred to speak, but the ache in her throat from something pondered too long slid out as a deep sigh. Her weighted thought, I want to be on a spiritual path, and the entrapment in a long wail. When they cast over the distance between them, that thought, too, was absorbed by the woman. All you need to do is say it, the woman said to inspire her. But when the walker tried, that inmost energy drawn upon to form conviction constricted in her throat from the fears of sacrifices she might have to make, yet steadily in her heart, assured of birth, truth grew. That's a really good point. This is so pretty, by the way. I'm beginning to understand this book. To be honest with you, it's been a little difficult for me. I don't know if it's been for you, Angela. I feel like you read the whole book, and now Angela is helping me. I feel like, am I wrong, Angela? Um, but when she said, I want to be on a spiritual path, to the woman, which I feel like the woman might have been a visible spirit, I don't know. And the woman said to her, all you need to do is say it. So I feel like her and the woman. Oh, look at you, Angela. I had no idea. She goes, no, I'm reading and discovering the book along with you. Okay, thank you. Um, the walker's mind fixed upon that thought and discomfort vanished. On the plain surrounding in that white expanse, she walked, meeting one person. In that white expanse, on a plain, everywhere, filling and coating the pits with their bodies of purple and black parachute silk. In that white expanse, she walked, meeting one person, a plumpish woman with gray-brown hair who looked East Indian. I feel like this woman might have been a Holy Spirit. That's what I feel like. So somehow or another, they locked eyes, and the thought from the person came out. the thought, I want to be on my spiritual path. And the woman said, all you need to do is say it. When the walker, the person walking who met with the woman, when the walker tried that inmost energy drawn upon to form a conviction, she wanted to say it. She was constricted in her throat from the fears of sacrifices she might have to make. She already knew. She already knew that asking for this meant the world of spirituality would be placed upon her. She already knew. So although she wanted to form the words, now her throat got stuck, right? At first she thought it, and the woman said, say it. And sometimes, have you ever had somebody that said something to you that was so simple? Like my favorite thing to say to people now is, no is a whole sentence. You don't need to explain it. Just say no. And that is one of the hardest things for someone to say to someone else. We feel like we need to lie, tell little black lies, and, my grandma's dying, right? Though that date, she's definitely dying that date. Yeah. My grandmother's dead, so I'm using her as an example. Both my grandmamas are dead. And I'm using it facetiously, right? But here she had a thought. And have you guys ever had a thought like that? Have you ever had a thought that said, I want to be in love? Right? You think it. You understand love is a physical thing, so you go immediately to sexual energy, right? But imagine if you said out loud, I want to be in love. And if you want, choose the gender. If you don't want, and you're not sure which gender, but you really just want love, then I would add to it. I would say, I want to be in love. For me, it would be with a man. And I would begin to say it out loud until I'm comfortable with myself, until I'm comfortable saying it, right? And then I would learn to say it like a prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, right? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever and ever. Ashe. Now, I memorized that because I was determined to memorize it when I was 10 years old. Because I want a prayer to come to mind when I am most concerned. And if I can't find a Bible, because back in the day, there's no such thing as Google this and Google that. The one thing I could have is my brain. I memorized that, right? So if you have something like that you memorize easily, fluidly, like I just did, any quote, you always should have a quote ready to spew out to someone, by the way. Not because you need to be smart, but because you're making an effort to retain something inside of yourself, right? So the same thing goes with love, right? All you need to do is say it. I want to be in love with a man. For you, you pick your gender. I'm talking about me. And learn to say it without embarrassment. Why am I telling you? Why are we talking about love? And why am I telling you all of this? Because it's simple. You've got to take it out of your brain, say it out loud, and let the energy, yes, Angela, and your emotions, yes, inside your body, see it as fluidity. Not embarrassed. So many people call me for readings and they're like, well, if you want to look at love, and I'm like, I don't want to look at love. What do you want to do? Well, it would be nice. Say it. There is nothing wrong and nothing embarrassing to want love. Go for it and say it until it makes sense to you. Say it until it's a real desire. By the way, I would add things to it. I really would, but that's just me. I would add kind and generous and caring and considerate. Don't add negative words. Like, don't say things like, he can't be, with chocolate hair. Like, you can't say that, right? Because we're talking about energy. Bring forth that energy. You don't know what God can do for you if you use the positive affirmations. Now, for right now, just say, I want to be in love with the man. That's enough. That's enough for that energy to be pushed out there in the universe, and you could find love. It'll be there waiting for you. But I just want to add something. I don't even know why I'm going into this tangent right now, but I'm not as tired as I was last week. Last week, I had just come back from a trip. I was dedicated to doing the book, and I was so tired. But I pushed through to get to chapter 3. I just want to add, what you want, you better be. If you want something amazing, an amazing man to show up, you better be equally as amazing. Moving on. Desiring spiritual understanding, he began to search wholeheartedly when he was about 40. His route was through reading metaphysical and religious books and taking occasional classes. By the way, guys, reading is probably the best route. Swear for God. That's why I have what's called a book club. We don't read books anymore, but that's a long story. I just didn't think everyone was embracing the book idea. think I found out later I might have been wrong about that, but it's too late. And I took the book club and put it on YouTube. But the group is still called the book club. His route was through reading metaphysical and religious books and taking occasional classes. Take every 101 metaphysical class out of any metaphysical bookstore. They all carry classes. In this pursuit, the framework of what had previously been Walter's normal life fell away. And his gradually altered life connection with the spirit world was made through dreams. Walter's father appeared and spoke with him. His sleep was marked further by dreams of intuition. Soon he realized he could separate from his body, and he was covering appreciable distances before returning to it. While still in his 40s, there came an occasion when Walter would perceive a small beam of intense light. When he closed his eyes in a meditative way and asked questions. His awakening spiritual faculties are described in his book, Divine Light Meditations. Written in the 1980s by, his name is Walter, but I don't see his first name. By Walter. All right. And it goes on to say, the light was unlike any light that I had ever seen. My eyes were closed. I realized the light was within me. It was not with my physical eyes that I was seeing this light. It was with my consciousness that I perceived this light. No sooner had the light appeared than it disappeared. And before me was a scene. In the scene was a person sitting at a table, and they spoke, and they sitting at the table, and they spoke the answer to my question. Communication between Walter and the divine light continued, with his being counseled and guided by it. Drawn to Eastern philosophy, his study of meditation, yoga, and Eastern teachings mostly came again from books. The great teachings of the East, he found, all had one thing in common. The common denominator is that God is within each and every one. God is within each and every one. Perceiving meditation as the way to become one with God within, Walter meditated more often. I was in the middle of my 50s and had been practicing meditation, beginning to experience uncontrolled bodily movements while I sat in meditation. When in meditation, I would be given guidance. The inner voice would speak loudly and clearly with my voice. One day, as I sat in my chair to meditate, I was rocked back and forth and eventually lifted up into the air, a distance of about 1 or 2 feet. I was surprised that this could happen, but I sat down and did it again. The inner voice then told me that it was lifting me. In the same span of time, the inner voice named Walter, a master, revealing to him, his name is Walter. A master is one through whom God freely expresses. Okay. I have been asked, how do you manage to levitate? I will share my secret with you. I of myself cannot levitate. It is God, the divine light within me, that levitates me. When I sit to levitate, I talk with the divine light, and it tells me that it's going to levitate me, and so it does. Levitation is not a form of entertainment. Levitation is done for the purpose of God, demonstrating his presence. In levitating, God is saying, I am present. I can defy law of gravity and physics to prove my presence. Very much like Jesus walking on the water, right? In teaching meditation and imparting spiritual knowledge, Master Thomas conveys his certainty that when we live in harmony with God within, our life is filled and enjoyed. Who was I talking with recently where there was a discovery that not having an overly expansive life with a big house, expensive cars, Jimmy Choo's, Louis Vuitton. I don't know who I was talking to, but we were both in agreement that we got to the place of happiness because we didn't need those things anymore. We didn't even want them, right? That having a simple life, having peace in your home is probably the most enjoyable thing and gift that you could give yourself. Of course, you have to work with others, and that's the outside influences that affect you and make you believe that you need a big house, that you need a $600 car note, right? And I'm in full agreement that a lovely house is mandated. If you've got a lovely house, take care of it. I'm sure it means the world to you. I totally believe in that. I don't believe in fancy cars. And I believe in decorating your home to comfort, right? But here it says, why did I get to that point? In teaching meditation. Oh, when we live in harmony with God within, our life is fulfilled and joy. And that's a hard place to get to, right? Because when you have problems, how do you live in harmony with God? You have to figure out that you have problems and still find a way to live in harmony with God, because God will, I promise you, find the solution. Sometimes when we live in anxiety and concern and worry, you can't hear the solution, right? I've been having myself some concerns. It just hit me on Thursday. Why not? I just got over one problem, just found my son, and a whole nother problem comes up. And I was like, okay, God. Now I know I'm not supposed to panic. So the first thing I did was not panic. But the people that were giving me the news, I was really concerned about them and their livelihood. And somehow or another, I participate in their livelihood. And then I spoke to an owner of this situation, and she said something interesting. She says, well, it's still changed, so we have to work with it. And I understood that from a practical sense, but she didn't understand that, one, I accept change, and two, I didn't like her change. It's two different things that were going on. So I came back in my mind. I've been processing and processing, and I said, how am I supposed to fix this, God? Like, so much burden is on me. And this is a big burden once again, right? I said, so much burden is on me. How am I supposed to fix this? And this morning, it came to me. I was laying in bed like you, Angela. And it came on my mind when Spirit said, why don't you check here? I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Why don't you check here and see what's there? And if something's there, use that to sustain the person or have concerns for. And I said, oh, I remember I was triggered because something had come through, but whatever had come through, I can't touch it anyway. But I could touch it now for a good purpose. In any case, I say that to say, when you live in harmony with God, within harmony where God is there in you, our life can be fulfilled and enjoyed. But of course, the first thing I did was block God. The first thing I thought is, God, like, again with the problem? I feel like I work so hard and I'm still getting kicked in the ass. And that blocked God from getting in, even though God was there. All of a sudden, I shut down from God. Thinking, of course, being human, that once again, I got failed. Like, all this burden is on me, and I'm by myself, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, again, God. So yesterday, I was riding with my neighbor, Richard. You all know Richard by this point. And we were coming in the complex, and he goes, the Lily. And I had drove past, and he says, can you stop and back up? And I'm like, sure I can. But of course I'm thinking, Richard, what are we doing? I can barely drive forward, let alone back up in my complex, right? So I backed up, all the while going, God guide me to back up, right? So we backed up and we got to a lily. And he says, look, an Easter lily. And I looked at him and I looked at the lily, and this was an orange lily. And I said, my mom loves lilies. In fact, when she died, it was lilies that we placed in her grave. We just showered her with the lily bouquet and sprinkles all the excess leaves that fell off. And we put that in her grave, right? So when she closed the lid, the flowers were there. So I looked at the orange lily. I don't know what orange means now I'm thinking about it. And I said, Mom, you're here? I said, you're here. So if you're here, then you are helping me? And I said, okay. So although I had shut God out of fear and anxiety for someone else that was having fear and anxiety, right? I started out with God inside. I was not worried at all of this structural change. I was like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. But then the other person that was giving me the information, she had fear. All of a sudden, I had fear, and I shut God out. And I'm like, a burden again. When does the peace come? And then Richard, blah, 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 back up, blah, 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 Lily. And I was like, oh, Mom, you're here. All right. I'll be open to hearing the God within from you. So I had to open up my heart chamber to get the message. And this morning, hopefully, the message that I didn't check to see if I could find what I'm looking for yet, but I think it's there. And so hopefully, this will give me some reprieve on fixing something. So I say that to say, because Tracy talks too much. When we live in harmony with God within, our life is fulfilled and enjoyed. All right, everyone. I want to remind you guys to like and share. Well, if you like and share, you don't have to. It's just what YouTube needs. It's so annoying, and I get it for you. But if you do like it, please do that. Also, please subscribe. My subscribership is growing. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys something. Yes, I'm almost to 40,000 subscribers. This makes me so happy, guys. And thank you so very much. All right. Okay, let me see. There will be no peace on earth until we each find peace within ourselves. Does that make sense? Oh Lord, let me highlight that now. There will be no peace on earth until we each find peace within ourselves. Oh boy, that's kind of deep. No peace at all? All right, Lord. All right. No peace? But doesn't that make sense to you, though? There will be no peace at all until we each find peace within ourselves. I like that. Born in Chicago, May 1925, Walter Nathaniel Thomas Jr. founded the Divine Light Temple in that city, 1975. The temple, initially called the Center for Seeking, was settled at its current location in 1980. Master Thomas wrote a provincial event in securing it in his book, Spiritual Meditation, in which he refers to himself in the third person. I'm getting a little confused here. Because first there's this being, There's this person named Walter, then there's this being named Walter. So I'm a little confused, but it's okay. It's okay to be confused. I don't have the energy to figure out where I went wrong here. Communication between Walter and the divine light, but somehow the light became somehow in the same span of time, the inner voice named Walter, a master revealing to him. A master is one through whom God freely expresses. So Walter is the man and Walter is the master. No, I don't get that. Name Walter. All right, I'm over it. It's okay. I don't. Where's my bell? Okay. Do you guys understand it all? I don't know. Okay. It never entered the consciousness of the Center for Seeking members that the temple would not be constructed. The year was 1980, a time when real estate transactions were grinding to a halt due to the skyrocketing interest rates. Master Thomas, I don't know which one this is, Human Thomas or Master Thomas, was paying the mortgage on a 12-unit apartment building to which was barely profitable. He came to the decision that the property must be sold. One day, while meditating in his closet, does anybody have a prayer closet? Has anybody seen the movie, The Prayer Closet? Such a good movie. One day, maybe I need to pray in the closet. All right, I'm over myself, but I think I do need to pray in the closet. Figure that out. All right. Has anybody seen the movie The Prayer Room? It's called The Prayer Room. Have you ever seen it? Amazing, amazing movie. I believe that the inner voice bestowed the title Master unto Walter. Oh, oh, thank you, sweetie. That would make sense. The inner voice, you put that. I believe the inner voice bestowed the title Master unto Walter. Oh, I like that. Oh, it's called the War Room. Why did I get the prayer room? Has anybody seen the movie The War Room? I saw it. I love her movies. Prayer is a powerful weapon. It kind of makes me want to cry. Hold on. It might be on YouTube now. It's definitely on Amazon.com. Let me see if it's on YouTube. Such a good movie. I might watch it today because I need prayer, y'all. I need prayer. And you guys know I never ask for prayer. The War Room. Oh yeah, full movie. There you go. All right, the War Room. All right, the War Room is on. Just turn this down. Is on YouTube. I think. All right, let's not do this. Back. War Room. Let's see if it's this. No, that's not it either. Nope. Mm, 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 mm. So I think it's on Amazon. It's not on YouTube, guys. Damn it. Hold on, I'm just looking for the War Room, but I think it's on Amazon. So you're going to have to go to Amazon. But please go look at it. I'm telling you, one of the best movies. Might be a really good movie for Easter Sunday. And it's a really good movie if you are going through something. The other movie I would suggest also is called Fireproof, made by the same people. Let's see. That's War Room. I think it's on Amazon. Okay, I believe it's on Amazon, but try to get to see this movie because it will change your life forever. In my other place, I used to have a prayer closet. And then my prayer closet, by the grace of God, it was a good thing, turned into my supply closet for my business, right? Because I feel like that was one of the things that I was praying for. Okay, hold on. I saw it. I love her movies. I truly believe that every word we say helps cast a spell. Yes. I tell people to watch what they say around me. Yes, I've seen those movies. Thank you, sweetie. It never entered the consciousness of the center for seeking members that the temple would not be constructed. The year was 1980, a time when real estate transactions were grinding to a halt due to skyrocketing interest rates. Master Thomas was paying the mortgage on a 12-unit apartment building, which he barely profited. He came to he came to the decision that the property must be sold. One day, while meditating in his closet, he was lifted up in the air once again, because this man can levitate, and screamed out loud, "You will sell the building today." Approximately 2 hours later, he received a long distance telephone call from Washington, D.C. The lady had heard that Master Thomas wanted to sell his building, and she was able and willing to pay cash for the purchase. With this infusion of money, the completion of the CFS Healing Temple was made possible. I cried to God. I cried mightily to God to make me holy. Oh, that was the end. What happened there? How'd I miss that? Hold on, guys. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think Kirk Cameron might have been fireproof. I'm thinking him and his sister are religious fanatics, but I do like them. It is what it is. Your love is so beautiful, coming after me. Do you guys know that Seen and Waving song? Goodness of God. I like that song. All right. I'm going to make some coffee, and I'm going to tell you what I put in my coffee, right? I put cinnamon, I put clove, a dash of clove, by the way, a smidgen of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper. Oh, I need this coriander. And a dash of nutmeg. No, because I believe in moving my bum bum through my intestines. I also add purple powder sea moss. And then this is the coffee grind, but Richard made fun of me for my choice of coffee, but it's okay. What can I do? Hold on. I do use all forms of creamers. I now have no preference either way. I don't like how expensive creamers are, though, right? All I want is a goddamn cup of coffee. I'm not looking for the coffee to cost me $1,000. Just want a cup of Joe. All right. And then sweeten to choice. Your love is so beautiful. And if I use flavor creamer, then I don't sweeten at all because it comes with its own sugar. So why add to it? Your love is so beautiful. I put everything back because that's how you keep your house clean. Keep the critters away. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Help me, Jesus. Oh. Guys, I gotta talk to Miss Marion. Give me a few minutes. Driving me crazy, Miss Daisy. How are you today? You look better. Come on in. Come on in. What's up? What happened?
What?
No, I heard you say something. What happened?
Your house smells sweet.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what it is, but thank you.
Um,
Have a seat.
I've been up since 7:30.
That's good, though, isn't it?
I don't know if I left my door open at home.
Oh, you mean wide open or closed? You don't mean
Because I was
locked.
on the phone trying to get you.
Oh, I guess you were trying to call me? Let me check. I can see better. Hold on. I can see in the grass better than you. Hold on. It's closed. Closed. The door's closed. You come on.
Um,
Bear with me, guys.
I'm since 7, then 9.
Yeah.
But I slept funny. And this was shooting crazy pains. That's the worst order.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can I give you my theory?
Huh?
Can I give you my theory?
Your theory?
Yeah, I have a theory on your shooting arm. I think the medicine, you still need it, just not
I'm going to go, so I don't know.
going to go to the doctor.
No,
Oh, no.
this is almost, and it's not coughing at all. So, um, I don't know, look for a vitamin or something because I've broken down, and I've got to build myself back up. So I had all good food, but I can't eat enough of it.
Yeah.
And it needs a little boost.
Your arm needs a little boost? I'm confused.
This shoulder is really bad. I mean,
Because you stopped the pain, you stopped the arthritis payment.
Huh?
Because you stopped the arthritis payment.
I know it's my body. That's how I'm working it.
Yes.
And all I did was rub in,
Yeah.
and slowly exercise.
Yeah.
And the pain is going away. It's
Oh, okay.
I'm not shoving stuff down my
I know. I know.
throat. I know I need of these boosters, and I
Yeah, you know me. It's powder. You don't know what you're going to find in this house, Miss Marion. Yes.
did you open your little?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, you sure?
I did not.
Okay, well,
I put it over here so I wouldn't forget, and then, of course, I forgot. Isn't that the way it is?
you should see me try to figure out.
Happy oh, $10 credit at Six. Ah!
I said, what can I do? And I said, oh, she's always in there.
Always. Well, guess what I was forced to do last night? Thank you. That's so sweet.
It was, he looked at me and I said, can we do some sort of a little, and he said, I know who she is, I know.
He knows who I am.
I was like,
I do make an impression on people, Miss Marion.
20 years to get him to remember who I was.
He didn't remember you, but all of a sudden, he remembered. I do that to people, Miss Marion. I don't know how I do that. But so Sing has been closed. Sing has been closed, which I'm very upset about.
Oh, he's closed on Sundays. That's what he's scrubbed.
No, he's been closed for Easter. This is a ghost town right now. It's a ghost town. Everybody's closed.
Listen to me. It's Easter Sunday.
I know.
He's never in his life been open on Easter Sunday.
But he was closed Friday for Good Friday, Saturday. What's Saturday? Holy Saturday? Holy Thursday? What is that? I thought we can open Saturday temporary. It doesn't matter. It's a whole thing out here, right? When they say holiday, these people do not play. They shut down.
But you know, Puerto Rico has more holidays than St. Brian.
Well, that's unacceptable. And I do not like that. That's unacceptable.
Because my son went off to college in Florida, and what the heck happens? He wanted to meet, somebody new from someplace, and his roommate ends up being his best buddy out of Puerto Rico,
Hmm.
and
They started comparing holidays.
yep,
That's
and one guy said, "Well, we have more holidays than you."
hilarious.
And he said, "We do."
That's hilarious. But what I was going to say was because I could not have cabbage, I refused to live without cabbage. I made my own cabbage last night.
Happy to.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. I made it with olive oil, of course. And so to me it was a little too oily.
Yeah.
It's okay. So I brought more cabbage today to add to what I made yesterday.
Cabbage kid is without juicy.
I love cabbage. It's a thing with me. I love kimchi. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I've made my own kimchi. That's how obsessed I am with cabbage. But in any case, I brought more cabbage this morning to add to
It's
the.
gonna be a cabbage store.
It's going to be to add to the cabbage that I made last night, and that will even out the oil, right? So I brought 2 packages to even it out.
Well, what are you going to do with it besides eat it?
Oh, it's my dinner every night. When I go to Sings, I go for dinner.
Um,
You know, you could eat like a pound of cabbage and you'll never gain weight. Yeah.
well, that doesn't bother me. I don't think usually I lose easily.
Hmm.
That's a lot of cabbage.
Mm-mm.
Well, honestly,
I've been eating cabbage every night for a month.
the other night,
Yeah.
I looked at you and
Yes.
I didn't say anything
Yeah.
because because I wanted to look again. I think you've lost some weight.
I did again.
Okay, because I noticed it.
It's
Right.
the cabbage.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's filling
Yeah. Mhm.
and
Tasty is that.
tasty. You know, depending upon you make it, it could be crunchy, soft. It doesn't really matter. But it's the cabbage. I've been eating cabbage every single night.
Good for you, because I noticed it, but and I thought,
Is it possible she's losing weight?
no, it's
I saw it myself.
good. I mean,
And I have to tell you, it feels more natural, the weight shrinkage.
Mhm.
Feels more natural than if I was eating and exercising. Something's weird about this. I don't want to call it a cabbage diet because that's not what I meant.
It's it cleans you out.
But at the same time, remember, I gave up bread.
Yeah.
So today, huh?
Except you cheated a couple of
I
times.
did not. Pizza is not bread, and donut is not bread.
It's
No.
okay. Whatever you say,
Right.
madam.
So yesterday, for the first time, I had French toast because
There's a lot of things I see you eat I don't comment on. Because
but Lent is over, so I could have the French toast. Remember, it was just 40 days for Lent. So it was over March 28th. So I had French toast.
okay.
Last week, it was Lent, and I had pancakes, but that's not bread.
It's the starch in it.
It's not bread.
Because when you say that, if we're out in the group or something,
hmm
oh gosh, and I watch what.
Here she goes making up her rules.
Yeah. That's stopping her. Hasn't that proven to you that it is bread?
Well, I had a conversation with God,
With them?
God, the man above,
No. Yeah.
and we agreed.
You'll go any place to buy something.
We totally agreed that what I'm doing is fine. Mhm.
Do what you see fit, but I noticed it.
I just make up my own rules.
Well, you keep me cheered up.
Thank you.
Say you
It's a bottle,
Perrier.
Perrier on the floor. Yeah. Off to the corner where I can't trip over it. So it fell last night. I should pick it up and put it away. Trip over it.
Just kick it under the cap.
Exactly.
Oh,
Oh, well, you have color again, so that's good.
yes, very hard to comb my hair. This, but I got it moving, and it's
Yeah.
the same thing. I can't keep going for a pill. Because when I had that first meeting
Uh-huh.
at the place, they worked it all out every time
Yes.
with simple 10-minute
Exercises. Yeah.
10 minutes, I think, is the highest.
Mm.
And I kept reminding them. I said, I'm not going to get up because I slept quite a bit last night. And
Good.
soundly. So, as I said, I was up at 7 something.
Yeah. So when do you go back to physical therapy?
The 8th,
And the 8th is what day? Monday?
Thursday.
Thursday. The 8th is Thursday? Oh,
Normally,
Lord.
I have it on Monday.
Yeah.
That's the second day. So,
Oh, I see where you called. I must have missed it. My phone is on vibrate. I'm so sorry. The 8th is next Thursday. Okay. No, that's not. No, 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 no.
The 8th is Thursday.
Okay, let's be clear. The 8th is Monday.
Oh, wait.
No, wait a minute. That's the way the calendar reads for 2024. The 8th is Monday.
It's on the calendar.
Next Monday. Okay. Good.
I needed that extra time. Well, they do too.
Well, they gave it to you. They knew you needed it. Yeah.
They're closed.
Mm-hmm.
Because they couldn't keep up everybody's schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These things are, yours are down a little, maybe. These fans don't do anything because they're too close to the ceiling.
Yeah.
It throws the air up and right on down, and I'll air back down.
Yeah. I have to clean the fans now. That's my next project, to clean these fans.
I don't look up high.
Me neither. And my stairs don't go up high either, but I don't want to ask anybody to help me. So I'm going to have to try and figure it out.
I have this one that goes like this, and then all you need is to dust it.
Well, do you have a 3-step or a 4-step? I have a 3-step too. Yeah. I have a 3-step, but I can't go on the top step because I'll break something. So I only go to the second step. Yeah, and this not on this floor. So I only go to the second step, but I'll figure it out. I don't want to ask my landlord to help me because it's not his job to keep my ceiling fans clean. There has to be something I could buy at Home Depot.
What?
There has to be something I could buy at Home Depot that lets me clean the blades.
I got to get out there because I got a $10 3-cent press.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big.
Let me know and I'll go with you.
Yes, because it's. What the heck do I have to get? Oh, toilet tissue. I don't want to be the one to run out here.
Do you want me to give you one?
No.
Do you want one?
No, that's all right. Thank you. I've got to make my appointment. Yes, they're going to be open. I think the hairdresser will be open tomorrow.
Oh, good. Get there.
There's nothing.
Oh, I wouldn't count on it, but all right. I wouldn't count on it. But
What is your schedule tomorrow, Gina?
tomorrow, probably nothing, but I might make it a nothing day. I feel like if these people don't work, I'm not working. I feel like I need to be one with the peoples.
Yes.
I'm not in full agreement, but I respect
Well, you gotta
the law of the land.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, so I want to be one with the law of the land. If they don't work, I ain't working. I work from home, but I won't go out in the street unless it's like to pick something up at the grocer's.
So Home Depot will be open.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Oh, see, now I can go with you if you're going to go to Home Depot.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what you meant.
because they just have to be open because bigger businesses are open.
Right. So if you go to Home Depot, I could be ready anytime. I'm completely flexible anytime after 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Ah,
After 10.
after 10.
After 10.
Tracy's available. I'm going to fix my money tree today.
Which one is that?
This one. You don't remember. We brought this together.
Money tree, I said to you, with the round silver dollars.
Uh-huh.
My mother had them. That was the money tree that they were at. They were green,
Yeah.
and then they turned silver, and they had like a brown, what do you call it, holding the petal. And the petal was silver, like a silver dollar,
Mm-hmm.
and you could see right through it.
Mm.
That's what I had described to you. I told you about it. That's the one my mother called the money tree.
Okay.
So I've seen this before.
Do you remember we brought this together
Yes.
when we brought the lamps?
Mhm.
Look how big it is. It was a little tiny plant.
You were sitting on your favorite seat, eating cabbage. Oh gosh.
Oh.
I'll look it up when I think of the bill. But, well, I want to go to the drugstore again. They close at 1 on Sundays anyway.
It's Easter, so they're not going to be open.
Hmm?
It's Easter.
There's drugstores in the supermarket.
That it's probably going to be closed.
Oh, yeah, they could be.
Yeah. I think they were closed. I went to East Side Market and they were closed back there yesterday.
Seaside Market.
Not Seaside, the East Side, the one closest to here. Their pharmacy was closed.
You're saying Seaside, the supermarket.
No, East Side, the East Market.
Oh, East.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it.
No, that's correct.
Their pharmacy was closed.
But
There's no button.
you can still walk back there to get it.
Something. Yeah. Yeah. Just not the pharmacist. Yeah, you don't want cough syrup.
He's probably exhausted for your trip around town.
I have to speak with him anyway because he promised to go half seas on a hoagie because I can eat bread now.
What is it?
A submarine sandwich, a sub, a sub sandwich where you and put meat
Oh,
deli inside.
I don't follow. He wants a submarine sandwich or
Mhm.
bread.
Mhm.
Where?
At Food Town.
I thought the bread was terrible.
So he said he would go half on it. So when he gets up, I'm gonna ask him if he still wants to. Because this is my first time eating bread in 40 days. But I think that also contributed to the weight loss, getting off of bread.
Yeah, why don't you stay off?
After I eat the submarine sandwich today, I'll go back to not
Gosh,
bread.
I make my own rules, and you do too.
Hmm. It's a Leo thing. It is.
Oh, when is your birthday?
August 8th.
August 8th?
Mm-hmm.
I thought, how the heck did I think? When you were talking to the man, and you said you were a Leo,
Yes,
why August 8th?
it's Leo. Yeah.
Because I never looked it up because we don't get a newspaper anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out how to. It's
When is your birthday? I know you're a Leo.
30th.
July 30th. Okay. That's why you have such a
I used to
kind
always
heart.
forget mine.
You're July Leo. You're nicer people.
Because if I drive and come back, I feel better. I have nothing. I'll get soup and then I'm going to freeze it
Mm-hmm.
because it's.
Well, if you wait for me, if you go get ready, you wait for me, I'll go out with you today. Just put, so go get snatched. It's a slang word. Go get snatched.
Don't rush.
You don't rush. I got the whole Easter Sunday available to me. I'm not rushing at all. And if you're well enough to go to Home Depot, we could do that too.
I'd rather not go on Easter Sunday.
Like seriously, like church people are going to be at Home Depot? No.
That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, you'll be out on the road too much? That's the birds, Miss Marion. It's the black pigeons. They're so pretty, the black pigeons. They're so pretty.
I can't push this
Use
arm.
the table.
I can't push on this arm.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to use my legs.
Okay. Oh, you look so much better.
Well, I got my hair unknotted,
Good, good, good.
but I can't pull it back. Maybe you could
You want me to help you pull it back with a brush? Of course I can.
when we leave.
Yeah, of course I can.
Because, I can't get it up there.
Yeah, arthritis Tylenol pill would solve that problem.
I know, but I don't.
Want to?
That's correct. The thing is, if I can work it out
Yes,
without a pill,
I know.
it's
You'd
natural.
rather that. I know.
So
You want it natural. I got you.
finish your tea or
A
whatever.
coffee, good cup of Joe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. It's a happy little town. It's a little village of
Oh
elves.
yeah, the lizards love it, and the birds do too. Yeah. All right.
What time is it now?
It is 11 o'clock now, so a good hour from now. Got it.
Okay.
Do not rush. If you're not ready by the time I get over there, I have patience.
Looks beautiful with the water.
Yeah, it does. All right, sweetie.
Okay.
See you later, alligator. Sorry, guys. I have responsibilities. I don't want to mess up. You guys just have to come along with my responsibilities. I am so sorry, but it is what it is. If I have to have patience, y'all have to have patience. We all gonna have patience together. Next story. I cried mightily to God to make me holy. Okay, look at what's happening in these series, right? If you want something, say it, right? Let's go back a little. I want to be on my spiritual path. And the woman said, all you need to do is say it. So now we're getting, I cried mightily to God to make me holy. Does anybody want to be holy? I don't know if I want to be holy because I'm more interested in knowing that I will slap a bitch. And by the way, I'm not violent, but I want to know that I can slap a bitch. I don't know if I want to be holy. I cried mightily to God to make me holy, wrote Rebecca Jackson, aspiring to spiritual clearness following a conversion experience in 1830. She began the practices of fasting. Now, is anybody interested in fasting? I get it. I understand its spiritual component. And if you fast, the objective is to fast before sunrise, right? So that depending upon where you live, it could be anywhere between 5:30 and 6:30. And then 12 hours, doesn't have to be sunset, because in some spaces like New York City, the sun doesn't quite set until like 7:45, 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30. So it's a 12-hour fast. So then you could eat 12 hours after your breakfast meal before you begin the fast. All right. She began the practices of fasting, continuing prayer, celibacy. Oh, I don't like celibacy. I don't want to do celibacy. I'm not doing it. And other activities of self-denial. No, I don't. I think celibacy is against God. I really do, guys. I don't believe in it. I prayed to God to give me a strong mind, that I might be able to serve him with all my days. She's asking to be a saint. With all my heart, soul, mind, and strength. This she recorded in her journal, which is presented in the book Gifts of Power, the writings of Rebecca Jackson. Gifts of Power, the writings of Rebecca Jackson. Black Visionary Shaker Eldredge, edited by Jean McMahon Humes. I saw clearly that nothing short of a strong mind would fit me for this journey, and prayed the Lord to show me all things that he would have me do, both spiritual and temporal. On the way, she acquired knowledge, Rebecca declared. It pleased God in his love and mercy to teach me in dreams and in visions and revelations and in gifts. Herein, my faith was often put to the test. See, that's the problem, guys. Do you guys understand that? The problem is that when you ask God for spiritual gifts, part of the spiritual gifts is testing you. If you say you want a gift, buyer beware. Because like anything else in process learning, you have to be tested. In college, you would take a test. With God, he's going to send somebody to you to watch you fail or pass. And it's okay if you fail, because he'll send somebody else to you until you get the memo that this is a test. Once you recognize it as a test, then you could say, oh, I will not fail this time because I know what this is. And by the way, failing at something is only practice, so don't beat yourself up. Thwarted by illiteracy in her intense desire to read the Bible, Rebecca was also disappointed over her brother's laxity about teaching her to read and write. While she was feeling disheartened about his unresponsiveness, she began receiving messages. And these words were spoken in my heart: be faithful, and the time shall come when you can write. On a later day, another communication was given. This word was spoken in my mind. Who learned the first man on earth? Why, God. He is unchangeable. And if he learned the first man to read, he can learn you. I picked up my Bible, opened it, kneeled down with it, pressed it to my breast, prayed earnestly to the Almighty God, if it was consisting to his holy will, to learn me to read his holy word. And when I looked on the word, I began to read. And when I found I was reading, I was frightened. Then I could not read one word. I closed my eyes again in prayer, and then opened my eyes and began to read. So I done until I read the chapter. Rebecca went to her husband Samuel to tell him of her received gift. So let me point out something. Picked up the Bible, opened it, kneeled down, pressed it with my chest to my breast, and earnestly prayed to the Almighty God, if it was consisting of his holy will, to learn me to read his holy word. And then when I looked on the word, I began to read. And when I found I was reading, I was frightened. And then I could not read one word. What is that? Forgive me because I don't know the Bible very well. But what is that? Like Peter? When God said Jesus said, Peter, walk. And at first Peter was scared. And Jesus was like, walk. And then he began walking. What? On water. And it was fine until Peter realized he was walking on water. And then he fell in the ocean. And I think God had something about, oh, ye of little mustard seed faith or something like that. Is that where the mustard seed comes from? I guess. I don't know the Bible. And I make fun that I don't know the Bible very well. I like the bits and pieces that my memory pulls together. Rebecca went to her husband Samuel to tell him of her newly received gift. I can read the Bible. And woman, you are going crazy. Praise the God of heaven and earth. I can read his holy word. Down I sat and read through. So Samuel praised the Lord with me. In a spiritual quest, Rebecca was led to examine her thoughts and beliefs. And one of her beliefs she pondered was, those who had done me wrong, I had never forgiven them. And I never intended to unless they came to me and asked my pardon for the wrong which they had done to me. Nor did I believe that it was required of me at the hand of the Lord. In those days of my fasting and prayer was under continual instruction. I was told I must never speak of anybody's faults. Pray for them. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Whose message is that for? Because it can't be for me. I was told I must never speak of anybody's fault, but pray for them. Oh, Lord. I just hate when I get taught lessons and I know exactly what God is talking about. If God is talking to me, who else is he talking to? Because this is not just for me. It can't be. I refuse to be alone in this. I was told I must never speak of anybody's faults, but pray for them. I must never let the sun go down and I feeling hard at anyone that had done anything to me, however cruel or unjust. Talking to me. Why, God? Why? It feels so good to be mad at someone. Many people. I got a list. God, I got a list. Lord have mercy. I must never let the sun go down and I feeling hard at anyone that had done anything to me, however cruel or unjust. I must go and pray for them till I felt sorrow for them and loved them as though they had done nothing. Oh, the guilt. Why is this book bringing me guilt? Then I might pray for myself, for my prayers could not be heard for my own soul until I loved and prayed for all my enemies. God damn it. That Lord, he just got jokes. Oh, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad that I have to change my ways. Ugh. All right, God. You teach me. And Angela. You teach me and Angela. We're going to do this, Angela. We're going to do this. And anybody else that wants to join me, we're going to do this. We're going to learn to pray for anyone that has been cruel and unjust for us. Let's find some simple phrases, right? Because I can't. I can't. It's practice. I'm going to fail at this, God. So let's, oh God. I like to say, I wish you well. That's one of my favorite phrases. But if it's not enough for you, God, I could say, I wish you well with love. That feels good and correct. releases the anger that I'm feeling, and doesn't make me feel guilty that I'm forgiving the unjust acts of others. So when I think of a situation that someone has done me wrong, then I will wish them well with love. Can we do that, everyone? And that goes for anybody that's hurt you in your childhood, anybody that hurt you yesterday. When the thought comes, and they could be dead or alive, by the way, because you don't know what they're going through after death. It's not a cake in a wok pan. Nope. So I wish you well with love. Let me know if that works for you in the comments below. In preparing to leave for a meeting, which earlier Samuel had agreed to attend, Rebecca was suddenly opposed by him. It was cloudy at breakfast. He looked at me. Rebecca, you ain't going. I said nothing. He said, you are a strange woman. I then said, no. And as soon as I said no, these words were spoken to me. Whom do you serve, God or man? I got right up and went to my place of prayer and prayed to God Almighty to teach me at all times what He would have me do. And these words were spoken. Ask what you will, it shall be given. Lord, stop the rain till I get there. So I kept in my prayer. It was said, your prayers are heard. See, I don't see rain. Okay, hold on a second. Let's stop. Has anyone had the experience, especially you Floridians, right? Where it's like you could see the rain clouds coming. You could see it. And you're out and about with no umbrella, right? And you're out and about and you say, most times we'll say this out loud. Oh, Lord, let me get home before it rains. It's kind of like joking, but have you noticed that the Lord will wait until you get home before it rains? Have you noticed that? You might have said it like facetiously. Oh, Lord, it's about to rain. Let me get home before it rains. But it really does happen. Has anybody ever had that experience? Let me know down below. But I love this. I got right up and went to my place of prayer and prayed to God. To teach me at all times what He would have me do. And these words were spoken. Ask what you will, it shall be given. Lord, stop the rain till I get there. So I kept in my prayer. It was said, your prayers are heard. See, it don't rain. Then she goes, I should have said, while at the table it began to rain hard. And then I said, I should not go out. So now it was done raining. I began to get ready. Samuel, her husband, placed himself in the door. He said, you ain't going. Oh, Lord, these women with these bossy-ass husbands, child. You ain't going, says Samuel. I came by him with these words, farewell, don't think hard of me. I must go. And when I go out, the Spirit of the Lord was upon me. And the journey was light, though I was poor in health. My brother saw me, but he thought impossible. He then began to call me. When he got to me, he said, where did thee come from? Why from home? How did thee get here? I walked. He was like one lost in his mind. He knew that when he went out the door, I had yet to dress. And when I was well, I could not keep time with him in his common gait of walk. Sister, I want to ask thee something. Didn't thee go upstairs to pray to the Lord to stop the rain? Yes, I thought so. And it won't rain until I get there. And Samuel will come also? No, sister, he will not. When I got about a stone throw from the meeting, it began to rain. If my brother had not forced me aside to his friend's house, I should have gotten to the place before it rained, though I did not get wet. So my brother was to hold this meeting. When he got a little way in his subject, Samuel came in. It affected my brother, so he could hardly collect himself. Hello, Wanda. Hi, Incognito. Through a vision while awake, Rebecca saw a woman she was to emulate. In this greatest struggle of fasting, praying, crying to God to know His will concerning me from day to day, all at once I saw a woman step before me. And it was spoken in my heart, this is the way I want to walk and to dress. And when you are as you ought to be, you will look like this woman and be like her. So I was strengthened and my soul much comforted. I soon found that she was sent from God to teach me the way of truth and lead me into the way of holiness. And in God's own appointed time, I would overtake her. In 1836, Rebecca visited a Shaker community for the first time and was reminded of the vision. The Shakers were dressed like the women I followed 3 years ago, who showed me how to walk through the world without looking right or left. She walked straight forward. So did the Shakers. I never seen anybody before that looked like her, and I never saw anybody before that I loved as I love these people. What the hell are Shakers? Let me see. Look at Candace. Aww. Candace is spiritual. She just posted 11:11. Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac. She's spiritual, y'all. Yep. Shakers. Shakers. People. United Society of Believers in Christ's Second Appearing. All right. Images. The people called Shakers. They wear the little bonnet sometimes. Yeah, they wear bonnets. All right, all right. Amongst the realization which Rebecca shared about her dreams were these. I fell asleep and dreamt this dream. There was no angels in the room. I was under great power and had presents given to me by my angels. And I woke up and found my hearing and understanding and knowledge of spiritual things increased. A white man took me by my right hand and led me, where sat a square table. Oh, it laid a book open, and he said to me, Thou shalt be instructed in this book from Genesis to Revelation. And so describing a dream which occurred in January of 1836, Rebecca was then shown two other books by the man, and each was in a different place in the room. At the sight of the second book, he told her, Yeah, thou shalt be instructed from the beginning of creation to the end of time. And at the third, he said, I will instruct thee. Yea, thou shalt be instructed from the beginning of all things. Yea, thou shalt be well instructed. He was dressed all in light drab. His countenance was seen, serene and solemn and divine. When I woke, I saw him as plain as I did in my dream. And after that, he taught me daily. And when I would be reading and come to a hard word, I would see him standing by my side and he would teach me the word right. And often, when I would be in meditation and looking into things which was hard to understand, I would find him by me, teaching and giving me understanding. And oh, his labor and care which he had with me often caused me to weep bitterly when I could see my great ignorance and the great trouble he had to make me understand eternal things. Concerning her spiritual task, Rebecca said, The Lord has called me to call sinners to repentance, and all my obedience to that call depends on my eternal salvation. Among the abilities by which she was fortified for that mission were preaching with power, prophesying, and controlling the weather and people. On one occasion, while working with the group, she noted nothing appeared to be hid from her spiritual eyes, whether thought, deed, or word, whether I was absent or present. The Lord laid upon their hearts from their childhood up to that time. Nothing appeared to be hidden. This is very important, guys. I'll go back over it. All right. I have learned obedience by the things I have suffered, and it is sweet to my soul. As she performed her spiritual tasks and devotional activities in obedience with the will of God, she realized flowings of the Spirit of God in her soul, joy, love, and flowing of the Spirit of peace. Ooh, those are nice things to flow through you. Joy, love, and peace. With disobedience to these came anguish, grief, confusion, illness, cloudiness, and darkness. Expressing her unwavering commitment to the path she had chosen, Rebecca wrote, "When I saw God, I heard his voice and understood that his will was concerning me. I lost sight of my brother, husband, and all of my people by nature, for I would not displease God to gratify myself in anything, nor any other person on earth." Rebecca Cox Jackson, an ecstatic, was born in Freedom in 1795 in the area of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just want to go over one thing quickly before I end today's session. Nothing appeared to be hid from my spiritual eyes, whether thought, deed, or word, whether I was absent or present. This is very critical because I have a book club. And what I've noticed, and I've been practicing in book club, whether the people know it or not, is that I can read what they're thinking. I don't tell them that I can read what they're thinking. It is part of my gift, and it is one of the reasons why I have the details that I need to manage a group. I don't fear people's thoughts. I read their thoughts and I manage their thoughts based upon their lack of spiritual coordination. So you can't be in a group and be two-faced. I will see it, hear it, feel it, know it. Doesn't mean you'll get kicked out of the group. It means that I'm given a gift to help you get on the path of the purple brick road. And I say that to say because Rebecca says nothing appeared to be hid from my spiritual eyes, whether a thought, a deed, or word, whether I was absent or present. That is a gift that I have to say grew upon me. And it grew upon me because of my investment in the group. Now, it's not always a good gift, right? Because you can tell when people don't like you. And then you have to decide whether or not your ego can handle the disdain that people could have for you, or could you see that their disdain has everything to do with how you are instructing them? So does that mean something about me has to change? Or does that mean I have to take what I know and hear and alchemize it into you, the group member, into being a better person? And let me tell you something. If I choose not to take it personally, if I choose not to let my ego get in the middle of this, the hardest thing is to get the group members to change. And they have no idea. So the change has to be subtle, slow. I have to be patient. I have to remember that they are all doing the best they can with the limited resources. I have to remember that they are all know-it-alls. I have to remember that they're all educated. And then I have to get them on the purple brick road. And let me tell you something. That is a task. All right, guys. What you say, Angela? I like to sun gaze. And if the clouds are blocking the sun, I ask the clouds to part and let the sun shine. though just long enough for me to complete my sun gazing. I love that. The clouds most times moves, allowing the sun to be visible so I can sun gaze. Oh, I love that, Angela. Keep working that gift. I love that. All right, guys. I am going to get going. I got a half an hour. I got to get my laundry. And then I'm going to go hang out with Miss Driving Me Crazy, Miss Daisy. And I know why she's doing this because I spent time with Richard yesterday. These people want blood from me. I swear to God. I love you all, and I want you all to have an amazing Sunday. I am available for a reading. It's still early, so if anybody wants a reading later on today, I will be open after 3 o'clock. So text me, and we can have a wonderful Easter conversation. All right, guys, I love you so much. Text me at 213-458-7408. Love you guys. Bye. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go